Alright, welcome back. We're on a hot streak of making guides. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a jumpless guide. Nobody asked except Exo and maybe Foppy, but they only asked for Sky 2. But you're gonna get the whole package today. I haven't done jumpless in over half a year, maybe even a year, so we're just gonna go over all the relevant levels. Some of them, like Escape 2, we might just not cover it all because it is literally just Escape 2 without jumping at the start. But we can go ahead and revisit everything here. So we'll start with tutorial. This is the one that most people start with and be like, how the heck can you complete this jumpless? Oh my goodness. It's really quite simple. My cat is scratching at the door because she's a menace. Anyways, completing tutorial jumpless is as easy as crossing this gap here. Given the fact that you can use guns, it's pretty much trivial once you get past this section. And to get past this section, you basically just need to get some speed with an airstrafe, wall ride, hit another wall ride. Now you need to go far enough. So usually you will want to wall ride higher up on this wall, so then you'll go farther, you can hold crouch, and you'll get past the death plane or the reset plane. Once you get back here, you can literally just crouch your way over to get more speed, fall off the side, go grab the boomer, launch yourself to the end. It really is that simple. You can even use the grapple gun if you really wanted to. You can just walk over here. Oh. Anyways. Oh no, I jumped. The tutorial's dead. Now the other thing you can do, if you're looking to be a little more quick about it, there's a trick here where if you uncrouch correctly, you'll get popped into the air. You have to uncrouch like right at the right place on this little yellow ramp, and you'll get some air strafing speed. You can do this, gain speed, go off the ramp, and just swing through and grab the grapple gun immediately. That is the fastest, most consistent method. There's a way to complete this gunless. It involves a lot more precise movement, and it's just very difficult, so I'm not going to go over it. It's a little more relevant for jumpless gunless, but jumpless gunless is a whole other story, so that's essentially what you're aiming for in tutorial. You just have to master that first beginning section with the wall rides, which is essentially you just need enough speed and getting that wall ride at the right height, and as you fall off the wall you just like tap right, tap left, because you just pop off the wall a little bit and then you move back onto the wall. Now Sandbox 0, this one involves a neat little trick where you're going to be crouching into the wall in order to get some height, because you probably realize if you play this game long enough, you will actually wall ride if you're crouching right next to a wall. Now, this mechanic is pretty critical to completing jumpless. A couple other mechanics are as well. The way this works is because with Karlson, when you crouch, you're airborne for a split second, or you touch the ground again. So if you're pressing into a wall, you'll be airborne, and it'll act as though you're landing on the wall. And that is why you can get a wall ride. And so to complete this level, you just run into it with speed, and ideally you're getting high enough to where you're just getting launched to the end there. Let's see if I can actually pull it off. There we go. I was probably starting my wall ride too early, because you want to start it as late as you can so that that height continues to carry you upwards. That's literally all there is to it. Just practice it, and that's the trick to quickly beat a gunless. Otherwise, I mean, you could maybe... No, it's really not worth it. That's the easiest way you can do things. To make it easier, you could kill the enemies ahead of time. Kill these guys. And then you could, like, move it and just do like something like that, but I think that's just way too much effort than it's worth. You to have that guy blow it up for you, apparently. I think that's just too much effort. It's easier just to learn the trick to crouch into the wall around the corner and then hold your, you know, keys to air strafe a little bit to get that extra speed. Sandbox 1, trivial. Boomer, turn, shoot in front of you like that, enough speed to get to the end. I'm not going to even bother talking more about this. It's really easy. And then again, this is really trivial as well, except how to get the shotgun on Sandbox 2. Simple. Walk over to the ramp, wall ride, boom. Really simple. Once you have this, it's pretty straightforward. You can play it really safe. You just have to be careful because Karlson is very janky, especially when wall riding. If you look straight down, you will sometimes spin out when you're on a wall. That's just some buggy code you have to be aware of. So keep that in mind if you're on a wall and you're trying to boost the shotgun. If you look straight down, it can really spin you around. Otherwise, a faster way to complete this level would look something more like this, where you're crouching to continue gaining speed. Do a little crouch here, grab this, start getting speed. Just use this to boost yourself up and forward, hopefully wall ride. I'm out of practice, but you get the idea. You can also fall off and wall ride to be air strafing for that bit. There we go. You really just needed more speed at the beginning. Once you have enough speed, you can like just do this and go to the end. Pretty straightforward. Not a whole lot to explain there, because if you're doing Jumpless, you're gonna know basically like how to do stuff in general. And if you're not concerned about getting a fast time, then it's still pretty straightforward to complete the level once you know how to get the shotgun. Now, Escape Zero. This is one level that people thought was impossible for the longest time, until I believe Tobik was the first one. He made a task to climb the walls, but I don't know if we fully understood how it worked at that time. I'll have to ask him. But essentially, this is the other piece of very important tech for Jumpless. It is a wall dismount. So if you get onto a wall, with Karlson, if you are on a wall, there's code in place where if you, it only works with your forwards or backwards key, and that can be the only key held. But you can actually just dismount the wall. It's all just timing based, depending on when you hit that key. And you can actually use this. This is actually quick enough to dismount and get back onto the wall. It's quick enough to where you can actually like climb, especially if there's a corner. But even if you're just over here, you can actually climb. So that's a little more difficult. That method that I was doing, a little more difficult potentially. But what you can do in this corner instead, hold into the corner, go up, back off. Just do this until you have enough height. That's honestly just a bunch of practice and muscle memory. The only thing I can really say is that you just need to learn the timing for when that dismount activates. And as that dismount is activating, you're essentially just turning and strafing to the other corner, which is, again, you can make it in two if you're like perfectly spaced, but sometimes it's ideal to do three. But yeah, I have more muscle memory starting from this, but it's still difficult tech to learn. You have to be facing, oh, that is correct. There's only certain angles you can dismount from. You have to be aiming within about like a 45-degree angle or so from the wall itself. So like if you're wall riding, you can't dismount if you're looking too far to the left or right. See? But if I'm looking over here, it'll work. Also, if you're holding it before hitting the wall, it sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes it does. I think when you hold a movement key, there's like a check for it. That timer might expire before you hit the wall. So to be safe, I always just wait till I actually initiate the wall ride before hitting the opposite movement key. I believe that's really everything I need to cover on that tech. It's very much timing based, very much muscle memory. And if you understand the movement, I'm assuming that you understand movement pretty well by this point. If you want to even try completing the game jumpless, you should know how to position yourself on these walls here. But otherwise, you can just take more time getting more jumps in. Because like I said, if you can't get it in like a couple, you'll get it in a few extra, and you'll be good to go. After, just to get back in position, after you're here, really straightforward. Take this, you can wall right on the walls, kill the enemy so they can kill you. Using crouches to accelerate yourself along the floor since we can't jump. There's also, you know, again, if on the door frames there, you can actually if you really wanted to, break this and like wall right into the door and not die. Here, just to get back in position. Break the door. You can wall right on these segments here to be able to start air strafing, get more speed. And if you do this, you'll just carry your crouching speed the whole time. As you know, if you're crouching, your speed will decay over time. So that's why you want to be crouching repeatedly. And if you can wall ride, it'll carry your speed the whole way with no friction. Anyways, that's enough playing around in Escape Zero, given that it was probably the last level to figure out how to complete Jumpless. I guess maybe this is why I spent so much time on it. But now that we understand wall dismounting, and if you can practice that, it becomes trivial for the rest of the level. Another level to potentially worry about is Escape 1. You don't need to have a prop fling for this one. I personally recommend it, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to just like, okay, actually I don't know anymore. Yeah, no, we need a prop fling. We covered prop fling in the gunless tutorial, essentially grabbing the prop, pausing while holding grab, release grab while paused, and then unpause. You'll have it suspended in grab state. When you re-grab, it'll come back towards you. I have pause bound to right click because it's very easy to access for this trick, but you need it in a very accessible key so you won't be, you know, you can use it easily. And so essentially you'll just be running out, grabbing that, and using it to smack yourself across the gap. You're just aiming to basically have it hit your feet. Once you're across the gap, excuse me, okay. Once you make it across though, what you'll need is the boomer gun. And now, okay, well, killing the guy yourself would be ideal. Now that you have this, the rest of the level is trivial. You can kill the guy through the floor, shoot your feet to boost up, crouch and shoot, crouch and shoot, crouch and shoot, whatever you can to make it to the end of the level, and you're good to go. So yeah, the main thing to learn there for this level is definitely just the prop fling at the start, which again, you just walk by, grab it, and then you go here, mount the wall, as we discussed with, you know, other levels, by crouching into it. And then just get the practice with the prop fling. You're just aiming to like have it hit you and then like around your feet. And as you can see kind of how I was doing it, I was kind of aiming a little bit down and then pulling up. This is so that it goes down, and then hopefully as I'm pulling it up, it's tilting the prop in a favorable direction to boost me upwards. Prop mechanics are very feel-based. You just need to work around them and practice it. And then you should be fine moving forward once you get that. If you want to, you can even make use of wall dismounting for the boomer section to get off the wall to have cleaner boomer shots. Alright, escape 2 is trivial. Crouch underneath and complete escape 2. It's honestly, I'm just going to complete the level. So we literally don't need to talk about anything on this one. Unless you happen to do that. In which case, if you ever get stuck to any of the walls, you just need to grapple up higher on the wall. And then you can actually just dismount like we discussed earlier by holding the opposite key and facing away from the wall. Alright, escape 3. Also very trivial. Just crouch your way to the door, crouch your way to the shotgun, boost yourself up, sometimes get boosted by boomer guy. Hopefully don't die in this room. And to the end. Very trivial. We're not going to even like bother covering anything else there. Now, Sky Zero. Also trivial if you have the shotgun. So boost yourself up. You just need to boost yourself up into here, which you can do by falling off and wall riding. And then you just shotgun boost yourself up into the air to get to the explosive barrel. Pretty straightforward. If you're not into that, I know you can basically get over to... Oh, hold on. Another way you can do this, similar to Gunless, you can just boost up, alert this guy, and then just, if you've seen my Gunless tutorial, you should know that once you alert the boomer guy and he's about to shoot you, and he's pacing around there, simply just be tapping one of your strafe keys to move slightly left or right, depending on, you know, where you're positioned. So that when he shoots the boomer, you can, well, in Jumpless, you would use the shotgun to boost yourself up instead of jumping. So that's really all you got to be prepared for, and then from there you can use the shotgun to just boost to the rest of the level. Pretty straightforward. Otherwise, again, if you land on the main platform area, you can use the barrel to complete the run. I was going to demonstrate that you should be able to get some sort of wall right here, potentially. But yeah, maybe not actually. So yeah, the two routes are either you boost up like that, if you're, you know, quick enough with it, or you're positioned well enough with the shotgun boost, you can do a clean, just run through with this. Meaning you don't have to like stop and boost yourself up again. You can just do it mid-flight. But otherwise, just boost up, alert the guy. Hopefully not too many enemies, but... And then you just complete the level, as usual. Alright, Sky 0 done. And now Sky 1. You'll need to alert the enemy here. And a couple things you can do. Safest way, just position yourself to kill him and steal his gun. You just do that by basically walking forward into the grenade, basically letting it blow up right in front of your feet and walk forward into it. If you get boosted away, that's fine. You can still go ahead and try to complete the level regardless, because if you don't have the boomer gun, you can just try to get the grapple gun. Kind of whatever you prefer, as long as you don't die like that. So now, okay, this guy is actually really annoying. I didn't think he'd be that annoying. But if you want to take it a step further and you get a decent boost, you can get all the way over here. Hopefully not die here. Grab the grapple gun, complete the level as usual, except you're using the grapple gun. Don't actually get onto that wall because you can't. You'd have to dismount there. So you'll just have to make a clean swing into the final room. where you can just complete the level. Otherwise, if you want to grab the boomer gun, you can use that and potentially boost through the level. It's probably a little more risky. At the very least, if you don't get a good grenade boost to get to the grapple gun yourself, like say you get something like this, you can just, okay. A little trickier than I anticipated. There's some other tech that we'll need to cover for Sky 2 that you can do to recover that situation. But otherwise, probably best case scenario is just to try to boost up and grab the boomer, or even more ideally, just try to position it so that you can get through over to here. Probably just use this grapple to get to the end, hopefully, here. And perfect. Those guys really can't hit you unless you stop moving next to them or you're like really point blank next to them. Okay. The Jumpless is actually not that crazy so far, I hope you realize. There's just a couple bits of tech, you just need to know where to go, get some practice in. It's nothing terribly complicated until this level. Sky 2, especially the way that I do it, which is actually easier than the way that it's done in, I think, the TAS that was made by Tobic, and the way that we only thought we were able to complete this level Jumpless for a very long time. I have top level runners asking me how to do this level, and it's just this section. This is literally probably some of the most precise movement platforming in the game. It's very, very interesting. There's like 3 different bits of tech we're going to be using that are unique. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first one, actually, not so unique. We visited this tech in tutorial at the very beginning. When you first try, wow, amazing. So when you uncrouch near the very edge of like something where you're going to bump your head underneath if you uncrouch. So in this case, this little wall here in tutorial, it was the like yellow brick after the wall jump section before the red ramp. You'll get this type of boost upward. It's very emphasized here just due to the nature of the shape, I think. Since it's a square corner on tutorial, it was like a angled corner, so we didn't get as much height. But regardless, this is all just muscle memory and timing. You need to just hit the right spot. You'll always get the height if you hit the right spot. It's just, video game collision logic going amok. It's pretty cool, I think. It's very goofy, though. You just need to get used to it. Now, here's the second bit of tech that we have not visited yet. And this is a... you're going to initiate a wall ride by falling off the platform and strafing onto the side of it. And you're going to fall off by crouching, because as you know, you are airborne. You don't necessarily have to crouch, but it's the way to get the most speed, and it will be relevant for this section up here. So, simple way to do this one, you can just walk off. You just want to angle your crosshair, be very close to the edge, angle your crosshair just a bit off to the side here, and as you're falling off, you strafe back on. And then your foot basically clips the top corner, and you get the speed to get here. Now once you're here, it's like, oh, how do we get up here? This little pole thing is actually 2 different wall segments that we can wall ride. Since they're kind of glitched together here, we can initiate 2 wall rides. And to do that, 2 crouches in quick succession. The first crouch, while you're pressed up into the wall, initiates the first wall ride. And then by uncrouching again, you initiate a second wall ride on the other wall segment that this pole thing was connected to. But you have to essentially do the uncrouch before that initial wall ride's like speed carrying you upwards carries you onto this section. Because if you do it too slow and you're already like at the max height of the wall ride, you're already wall riding on this, so it won't initiate a second wall ride. So it's like a quick succession thing. But then once you actually get up here, that's another way you can technically do it. It's a little less consistent. I don't like it. I like to line myself up right in this corner, because if I essentially get it right here, I literally was just getting it. How am I not getting it now? It's a very precise bit of tech, as you can see. Climbing onto this section is actually a lot easier than it looks. You're basically just uncrouching. That's why you recrouch. As you can see, I'm like doing 2 crouches instead of just, you know, doing this. I think the timing of the second crouch is actually important as well. Actually, yes. I don't know exactly what's going on here. I'll be honest with you. It's something to do with when you time the crouch. It needs to be in a certain like rhythm. You'll get it like every time. So you just try to copy how I did it, feel it out for yourself, and do it definitely near the edge here. And then you basically just fall off the side and uncrouch again, and you're basically connected to this wall already because it sticks out a bit farther than these other 2 segments here. So it all like lines up pretty nicely. That one's just practice as well. Now we've covered the, I don't even know what to call this. It's like a I don't even know. It's just like a glitchy launch. I don't know. So we've covered like the corner launch. We've covered wall riding by sliding off of the platform onto the side. We've covered the kind of glitchy double wall ride to get onto this platform here. And now this section. Now what people used to do is get onto this pole on the side here and actually just very precisely like initiate a bunch of wall rides off the corner. And they'd basically just have to go back and forth across this corner, climbing up. We called it a corner climb. It's so difficult. I have not been able to do it single segment at full speed, which is why I looked into finding a different method. And I did find a different method, and that's what I'm going to show you. Now this setup is very difficult. If you know of the save states mod that we have, you can ask about it in the Discord. Someone will help you provide it, the files for it. This is where you'd want to have a save state. You want to save state somewhere around here, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this trick here, but with a crouch. We're going to need to get as much height as possible and hopefully as late of a wall ride as possible, so that we land on here as high up the wall as we can with enough speed. Once we land on this wall, look at the weird angle this is at. It's like at a weird angle like this. We're going to need to wall dismount and then air strafe onto this platform. So that whole bit there is just very tricky to manage. And it comes with a lot of practice. Because to wall dismount, you know, normally in Karlson, the layouts of levels are often not very diagonal. They're very just square on with each other. So when you're wall riding, you need to like turn a lot farther than you anticipate in order to wall dismount. So like all the way out here is where you gotta face for the wall dismount. Because if you aim here or forward, you won't get it. That's just an important note there for the wall dismount itself. And then air strafing, like if you're coming off a wall like this and your speed's kind of like moving kind of in this diagonal direction, in order to get enough speed, you have to get like a really good air strafing angle, which means diagonal movement compared to where your player's moving. So basically the angle is just really weird and you have to get used to it. It looks something like that. I'll show you the best of my ability how the full trick looks right now. So this is the falling off wall ride onto the platform, doing some air strafing to get more speed, hopefully hitting the dismount, hitting the wall with a good amount of speed, trying to like air strafe to not like, you know, we don't want to be hitting the wall like this because we're going to lose all our speed. We're hopefully going to be like strafing around to conserve speed. Like that. And see, like, I was too far wide, but I had enough distance. I had enough speed to make it, which is good, because then it's just a bit of an angle adjustment from there. Okay, that one I didn't have enough speed, probably because either my initial jumps were bad, this jump section was probably bad, or I just had bad air strafing leading up into it. Let's try it again. Okay, good air strafing, bad angle. You basically just have to work through this here. Okay, I guess that works too. Almost. I will demonstrate this technique for the tutorial. It will happen. But as you can see, it is very, very, very difficult. It's very precise. It requires a lot of practice, which I have not done for this category in many, many months. So hopefully... Yeah, I didn't even get the wall dismount there. Wall dismount comes with an audio cue. You can hear it, it's that like clunking sound. Okay. Yeah, so essentially, you'll be able to reach the platform. And we didn't get the dismount. I was feeling good about that one. We'll be here a while, folks. Maybe I'll cut to when I get it. I don't think I'm turning enough for the dismount. I'm like having to relearn this mid-guide. Oh yeah, Sky 2 is brutal. There we go. Now, that is one of the outcomes that can come from this route, where you get the wall right on the side, and then you can just take it into the tunnel if that's the case. Otherwise, if you land on the platform, I'll just jump out of here to... Okay. Get back to here. If you land on this platform, which ideally you're either wall riding on this section, climbing up, or if you get the wall right on this section, you can take it to the tunnel. Once you're here, you are just going to look to get to the tunnel. It's probably the easiest method, the safest. You can get to the top of the tunnel from here. It's just a little more tricky, and you don't really want to risk it at this point. And so this is where you can actually just rush things and choke, because you're like, oh my gosh, I finally made it here. It took me like 3 minutes just to get over here. It's just where you want to keep your cool and do whatever lineup works best for you for the falling off wall right on this platform. And as you can see, I even messed it up. I wasn't even like... I didn't even have the nerves for that, but I still messed up the timing. Like, there was absolutely nothing on the line for me. Okay, except apparently my own dignity, because I can't do the strat. Okay, there we go. I'm more comfortable with the crouch method. So once you get into here, you can climb this wall by crouching. There's a section of this wall that's shorter. See this one right here? So you just want to be like on the wall here, crouch over, boom, boom. These guys are dead. Toss that gun into the abyss. Grab the shotgun. Now you can mess up this section pretty easily as well. You can either choose to be safer, go here, dismount maybe. Maybe like dismount jumps. That's pretty simple. Actually, I might use that moving forward. That's a nice one. Or you can go into the wall and just boost yourself up and off the walls. But you'd want to basically be at an angle. You don't want to shoot straight down, because this will happen. Danny code. But yeah, pretty straightforward once you have the shotgun. There's a lot of ways you can kind of choke due to nerves and just freak out, so just got to keep it simple. But yeah, once you get that done, you've completed the game Jumpless. Use a shotgun boost to get to the end there, and you're done. Now, you'll probably spend the most of your time practicing this level, because it's actually one of the hardest tricks in the game. I'm one of the few people who've actually done it single segment. A lot of people are good at, like, other levels, Jumpless. But I think I'm the only person who's really... Outside of... No, Sloth has completed it as well. I don't know if anyone else has completed it single segment. Purely due to this trick here. So... I don't know exactly how to describe it. That's how you do it. That's good. I'm more practiced. It's really all about movement conservation and getting that wall dismount, and then getting the right air strafing angle after the wall dismount, which can be tricky. And one thing to note, if you land on this wall, it's kind of hard to land on that from there. But if you do, one thing you may have noticed that I did was once I landed on the wall, I crouched. Sometimes it gives you an extra wall ride if you hit like the very bottom lip of the platform, so it's helpful to do that. Just in case, and it'll carry you over to this platform. So that concludes the Jumpless tutorial. I expect to see 20 submissions into the Jumpless category. That does not exist because I don't know what's with that. Anyways, it's not like I'm the only person who's completed single segment run in a short time span. Crazy. Anyways, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll make Jumpless Gunless next, or some other level explanations. Who knows? We'll see. Peace out.